if, and I know Next Level makes fun of us in the United States of good old America, that we love to sue people, but if you go and make a complaint to your supervisor and you say, I do not feel safe, I'm having hostile work environment, I'm having thoughts, I'm having whatever, I'm stressing the hell out, and they report it to your manager to eventually you get fired, that's called retaliation. A job is not allowed by law to fire you because you're voicing your opinion on something that you're like, I am stressing out on something. They need to look at that and say, okay, this is a learning opportunity. This is something that we need to sit down and either give you further training or give you some sort of resources to help you. But your job needs to do that. And for those people, before everybody says, well, I'm going to sue my job because I'm in a hostile environment now, read everything that you signed to begin with. Read what you signed, read the dotted line, because you're going to be surprised on what's actually in there. And if you're like, well, I'm going to sue them because of this, and then later on, they're like, well, remember when you signed the contract, when you first got hired, it actually says, don't put your foot in your mouth.
Subject to change. We tell you what to do. Know your role.
Yeah. What's the best thing? What's the best? Yeah. Subject to change. I love that. And then the second thing that they always put, when they say your job includes this, and then the last thing it says, and other duties.
Right.
It's like, what? So you want me to be a janitor now?
Yep.
Well, it does say other duties. So if we need you to take out the trash, we could tell you to take out the trash. We didn't hire you to take out the trash, but it says other duties.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I always go for a job, I ask them about that other duties and to take it out of the part that I'm signing.
And they actually comply?
Huh?
They comply?
The last 2 jobs, yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm just like, I'm like, you want to hire me? Other Judies, other Juanitas, my ass. I'm not doing no Judy.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, dude, it's I was in a job one time where they said, we are hiring you to do data and reporting. Okay, cool. Actually, I'll take that back. I'll go one step further. Same job position, same company, same department. I was hired in the call center to take calls to help do scheduling for neurology and cardiology appointments, doctor appointments. Think calls, blah blah blah. Think calls. They're like, "Oh, you speak Spanish? We're gonna turn on the Spanish line." Whoa, wait a minute. Are you gonna pay me for that? Well, it does say here on your thing, other duties. You assholes. So they turn it on. And then I started acting stupid. I'm just like, hey, there's some words that I just don't understand. So when they're over here like, hola, señor, quiero ir a la cardiología, I'm like, whoa. I know whatever symptoms you're telling. I know you said cardiology and you said a couple things that you don't feel good and everything. But once you start getting into symptoms and everything, I'm like, okay, I'm not that savvy. I'm not that savvy. I could figure it out, but I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna play games with you.
There's a difference between knowing how to speak a language and then understanding how to speak in all the specialties, right? Like you're not gonna go and immediately learn how to speak Spanish all about heart symptoms if you're not like in that field when you're learning how to do it. You know what I mean? You're going to know the main things, you know, what's for dinner, where am I going, where's the washroom, but not, you know, I'm having a heart attack, my symptoms are this, like that. Those aren't common things. So, and when you speak to somebody that's fluent in a language, because I mean, I barely know English. So if I speak to somebody that's speaking in a different language and you don't recognize the words, everything is a blur. You're like, and then obviously, I mean, that's a critical position. People are talking about their health and their lives. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times people are nervous, they have anxiety, they speak fast, and they're looking for help from you. And that's a stressful position to be in.
Yeah.
On all sides.
Well, the story gets even better with that job. They decided to, oh, you're doing so good. Your call volume is so high and your talk time is so low, and you get to the point and everything happens. You could help move the traffic faster. Let's add another skill set to you. Let's add dermatology. Okay, whatever. Let's add orthopedics. Dude, what do you want me to do? Take every single call from every you want me to learn every single pathology and every single sicknesses and every single doctor and every single insurance for all this stuff for me to take. So I in my head I was arguing with them. And I called them every name in the book in my head. And then finally they said, and which was interesting, within 3 months, dude, within 3 months, normally 3 months, it takes one skill set to learn. I had 5 of them. And they told me, dude, you know more about computers than you do about this health stuff, don't you? I was like, well, yeah, but whatever. It's a job. It's a job. Got to do what I got to do. And they're like, can you help us out with some stuff with the website, with the database, with the servers? I was like, sure. They're like, we need you to take calls on Mondays all day because it's busy, and Tuesdays. But starting Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, take calls in the morning. And then during the other half of the day, you could go work on the computer. We need some stuff done. Cool. Within a month after me doing that, they offered me a full-time position doing it. And that's when I said that little part right there where it says duties.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you guys need to take that out. And then they told me the first time we can't. It's part of the position. So I was like, So then when I got the promotion, I got a promotion from data analyst, or actually, I'm sorry, applications analyst to data and reporting analyst. That's where I went to. I said, you want me to continue doing what I'm doing? That needs to come off, or I'm not allowing this promotion to happen. In fact, you guys could put me back on the phone calls because and no, dude, they took it out of contract. They took it out and said, okay, cool. Like, this is what you're doing specifically, because they were having me, they wanted me to take calls. And I'm like, no, I don't want to take calls. This is my job. This is what you're hiring me for. I don't want to go over there and take calls. I'm all stressed out. And then it's over here like, oh, can you pull us a report about all this data with all the numbers? And we want to be sure the multiplication between the days and the time and how much time is being spent between per person. I'm like, wait, whoa. No. Back in grade school, when they said, what is, and you probably remember this, what's 10 plus 16 plus 9 plus 3 minus 4 times 8 plus 3 plus 2 minus 0 plus 1, you know what I mean? And then you're like, wait a minute, 1 2 3 4 times 3, then, remember, like, it was the long thing. It was just one question and it had like 10 things to add.
And you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do that.
Yeah. So you're over here counting, like, even if it was simple math, even if it was like, what's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10, even if you did something like that, you got to be like, hold on a second, nobody talk to me. 10 plus 9 is 19 plus 8. And then you're like, then you start doing the math, then you're like, okay, this is how much it is. So yeah, that was my environment. That was my hostile environment. But to the people over there as moderators for Facebook or YouTube or whatever, just make sure you guys read that fine print and get, seek the help that you need for sure. Yeah, I hope they seek, I hope they seek the help that they need. And we were very long-winded on that.
Well, it's not even just seeking. I hope that, companies like YouTube do the due diligence to ensure that they get the help before they actually need it. Because a lot of times you need help before you realize you need the help, right?
Yeah, exactly.